Ta-da! It's us. Once again, hello, you're up front with Frank Rothstein, sitting to you high above the city, the very cool and breezy Gotham City, as opposed to yesterday when New York was, for the last couple of days, an oven. And as I was telling Jade, who's sitting here with me, of course, in the cooler part of town with more air conditioning than I have, it is the very cool and breezy Jade Zabrick. Yeah, I live on the top floor of an old building, so it's like I get roof. You could bake bread on my head. I mean, sometimes it gets that bad. The good news is that it hasn't been that hot for long yet, so it hasn't baked into my building yet. But give it time. See me in a month. How is everybody this week? How is everybody? Feel free to comment to us on Twitch or on the Skies Crescent Radio page. We are sharing live to YouTube, and I don't know why I'm telling you that I'm on Twitch, because if you're looking at me, you know where you are, I hope. Feel free to email me, upfrontfrank@gmail.com. And let's see, what are we going to tell you about Jade today? Well, you can always think about doing this on your own and creating your own show on skiescrescentradio.com. So look for it at skiescrescentradio@gmail.com. I'm going to go through all these .coms. Go to Jade Zabrick Music at Gmail, jadezabrickmusic.com, and of course, jadezabrickmusic@gmail.com. Am I getting this right? I'm tripping over I'm getting this. I'm all over the place here. Just keep saying .com, and anybody's name that you like, you will find us. And that's how it works. And I've been looking around the news all this week, and I didn't want the news from today. All I'm getting in the last couple of weeks is more shootings, monkeypox, another disease. I forgot, Omicron for COVID's been a while now. We have like 3 other strains going on that we don't even talk about. But that's okay. I have my second booster. I'm boosted. Would I know it if I wasn't? I'm not feeling anything. Would I know it if I wasn't? It doesn't make any difference. Anyway, so yeah. So I figured, let me talk about some of the things today that I've noticed over the last week. That way, maybe I'll find something I could brag about a little bit. Seems like more fun to me anyway. Let me see, before we look at this Twitch screen, make sure that I'm talking, that we're all doing this, we're all doing that. And let us to see. I'm looking to see if I could find, there it is. There is the chat room. I'm making sure that all of you are set up to tell me what to do with myself. So yes, we are in the chat. Let's see. Let me type in a quick little comment, because I want all of you to know that I'm real, not just a voice in your computer, which I know people do hear voices from their computer. There we are. Have a seat. Come listen to it. Okay. What is going on this week? Oh, the big news today is, the hell with war. We don't talk about war anymore because it's almost 3 months old. That's how the news works. We're talking today about 78,000 pounds of infant formula has arrived in the United States, according to the Associated Press, but I'm reading it on the New York Post news page, my drink of the day. Military plane carrying enough specialty infant formula for more than 500,000 baby bottles has arrived on Sunday in Indianapolis, in the first of several flights expected from Europe. About damn time. How come when somebody in the world needs help, America sends help? We have to send emergency relief. We have to do this. We have to do that. We're talking about this for months. Where the hell was the formula then? Anyway. President Joe Biden authorized the use of Air Force planes. About damn time. Why didn't he get around to doing it earlier? In the effort dubbed Operation Fly Formula, because no commercial flights were available. How the hell could that be? How could that be? I mean, even when there was like tsunamis in the Philippines and India, John Travolta flew his own plane. They can't find the commercial jet anywhere to go make a run, to run to the store and get stuff. Holy crap. Anyway, 78,000 pounds, 35,380 kilograms. That's according to White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre told report is about Air Force One and aboard Air. I'm losing myself here. They were on Air Force One heading from South Korea to Japan. That's all it is. Enough of this. Anyway, so there is help on the way. But what I do find interesting is, because God forbid people will make a ton of money on you at the worst of times. I'm reading on NBC News that parents are accusing online sellers of price gouging on baby formula as much as 300%, depending on where it is and what the need of the child is. Don't forget, not every child feeds natural. Not every woman is breastfeeding. Not every mother can breastfeed. It just, everybody is different. Sometimes babies do have extra needs beyond nature and they need a little help. So, whatever it is. But I'm reading, what was I reading here? That it's like $26.60 for online baby formula. That's sick. I'm looking at here's one here. I guess Enfamil Nutra. I can't even read this one. Nutrimidgen, whatever it says, infant formula, ready to feed, $200. I mean, what are people thinking about here? It's incredible. Websites like eBay, OfferUp, Amazon, Craigslist. Yeah, everyone. It's really bad. People cannot help. They just can't help themselves. And of course, medical professionals tell you don't make your own formula. I don't know what that means exactly. I don't know what you have to put into it, but yeah. One person was asking $34 per 12.5-ounce can. Usually cost 18, so on and so on and so on. So price gouging is always a popular thing. Grab yours while you can, right? And I mean that for the companies, not for the families. It really is so sick. Why would anybody do this? I mean, of course, starving children, you have to, but it is really so sick to do that. I mean, I don't know if babies still get regular milk. I mean, I know I had regular. You can give babies milk, it's, past a certain point, but $200 for a can of formula. Not good. Not good at all. What else is going on? Me, I always root for the animals. I don't know about the rest of you, but anytime I see someone messing with the animals, I'm always rooting for the animals. And this headline is, New York High Court is to determine if the Bronx Zoo elephant is a person. I don't write this stuff, but yeah. Says she has 4 limbs, expressive eyes, and likes to stroll through the greenery in New York City. Happy by species is an Asian elephant, but can she also be considered a person? That is the question before New York highest court on Wednesday. Yeah, in a closely watched case over whether a basic human right can be extended to an animal. Well, let me get a little more into this, because I'm reading this for the first time with you. The advocates of the Non-Human Rights Project says, yes, Happy is an autonomous, cognitively complex elephant worthy of the right reserved for the law of a person. The Bronx Zoo, where Happy resides, says no. That's the attorney. The zoo argues that Happy is neither illegally imprisoned nor a person, but a well cared for elephant, respected as the magnificent creature she is. All right. By the way, Happy is 45 years old. Well, I don't know that Happy is a person, but I do know that Happy is, in a way, imprisoned, because Happy is not in the natural habitat. Maybe Happy was born in the zoo, I'm not sure, which would make the zoo home, but Happy is not in the jungles where Happy can go roaming free with her peoples, the other elephants. So I don't know what exactly they're basing this on. Yes, elephants have great memory. Elephants have great feeling. Elephants do have feelings. Yes, they do. They have emotion. They do express love. They do know how to help. And when one of theirs is in trouble, They often work together. Elephants are very intelligent and caring and capable of great rage if you mess with their young, but I'm not sure it's a person. Then again, I can't speak for anyone else, but I was reading an article. This goes back with dogs, which is an older article from last year, 2021. Dogs know when people are lying. And they did an experiment where they, sort of baited a dog with food, then took the food away, but got the dog to react once, maybe twice. And all of a sudden, the dog knew you were lying. The dog did not react. And that's just a very basic way of dogs. And I mean, fortunately for me, dogs like me. Dogs and cats like me. They trust me. Dogs trust me. It's for the most part. I mean, there's always a few that are a bit skittish, towards whoever. But for the most part, dogs and I get along very well. One thing I never do to animals, the dog, or in this case, the elephant, is I don't lie to them. And that doesn't mean do I hide the food, whatever. It means I don't make them go through their paces. I don't want anything from them. If I want to give them a treat, a snack, a meal, or some water, I just do it. I don't think about putting an animal through its paces. And animals sort of recognize that, to me anyway. So I don't know if Happy is a person or not in the truest sense, but if you want to, I mean, certainly Happy can't vote, won't get health coverage, and Happy's not calling up pizza in the middle of the night or food delivery of any kind. And you can't take Happy for a drink, but you can treat Happy with some kindness and the proper way of living. And I'm not sure if Happy is imprisoned. If the elephant was born there, that would be the only surrounding. You know what I mean? But yeah, we'll see what happens in court. Yeah, let's just see what happens in court. I'd like to know. I really would like to know if Happy gets the right to get the same rights as a human in a way. What happens? Because most people, when they think of elephants and cruelty, they're thinking of the circus. That was a big thing a while back, when you watch the Ringling Brothers circus come to town, and they have the animals out there with the handlers and the whips, and then they can do the tricks, and the elephants are parading, and every now and then one of them just had enough and took off and really went on a rampage. And of course, they usually had to kill him in the process, which I always hated. But well, we'll see what happens in this case. We'll see what happens in this case. Let's see. Let me check back in here with Twitch, Jade, and see if is anyone rating us? Do I need to like serve drinks? Anything to eat here? Jade, do we have anything prepared? We have no guests. I want some guests. I made hors d'oeuvres. I made some finger sandwiches. I want some guests. I got to put some food in the chat stream. That's got to be it. Okay, what else is going on here? Let's see. Actually, okay, let's get back to what's really going on out there. Sometimes just need a drink. I wish it was vodka. Netflix, according to the Daily Wire, has fired major warning shot at its woke employees with new culture memo. This is all started basically over Dave Chappelle. And it says a new corporate culture memo from Netflix is taking a hardline stance on attempts to silence artistic expression by warning those who are offended by streaming services content that they may want to find another job. This was originally from Variety, which reports that the change in the Netflix company culture appears to be due large in part to the backlash streaming service faced from, I'm sorry, I'm just having trouble today, from woke employees last year over Dave Chappelle's special, which the employees claimed was transphobic. All right, so we all remember that. Was that last fall? I forgot exactly. So anyway, Netflix is letting people know we're not silencing anything. And I sort of like that. That does not mean Dave Chappelle can go on the air and say the most craziest things and threaten to kill people and call for you to kill people or anything that would get the network shut down or nothing like. All they're saying is that as the comedic artist that he is, his stand-up act will stand on its own merit. Watch him if you want. Don't if you don't want. And if you don't want to work there, feel free to find another job. I sort of like that because I am tired of cancel culture. I am tired of telling people they are not worthy of being around. They are not worthy of being around. You can't, if you want to cancel Dave, you got to cancel a million musicians with the lyrics in their songs. You have to cancel a lot of things. I mean, you might as well take down the statue of David now because let's face it, David's naked. So, good for Netflix. If somebody wants to leave and go find a job somewhere else, let them do it. Best I can think of. No one's telling anyone they have to stay and work there. Let them do it. What else is going on? It's been one of those weeks here. One of those weeks. So checking back with that. Okay. Don't forget, as I said, we are live on Twitch. We also stream live on Facebook on the Upfront with Frank Rothstein page. We also have the Skies Crescent radio page. And of course, you will find this show posted later on YouTube. And anywhere else you may eventually find us, especially on the Skies Crescent radio website. Our main podcast streaming service is Spreaker.com, Spreaker. I'm doing a lot of commercialing over here. I gotta start getting paid for mentioning all these names. I want Facebook to send me a check. Let's see what else is going on in the world. Let's get a little bit lighter in the subject over here. This is a woman that says, I get paid to watch porn full time. It's the best job in the world. Well, Rebecca Dixon, 22, is being paid to watch porn after being chosen from a new data analysis role by ethical sex site Bedibble.com. How much does she make? She's making $20 an hour. The average porn movie is about an hour and a half. She could watch 5 or 6 a day if she will shoot. I don't know what notes she has to take. But if you want to turn the movie on, you can get through them. I did. I got through porn movies for years and years. So, gotta do what you gotta do, right? They should have hired me. I'm a professional. But yeah, Rebecca Dixon is 22 and this is what's going on. And I don't know what's going to happen to her brain after a week of doing this, but okay, let her do it. She's pretty much making easy money. And yeah, there you go. As part of the paid position, Dixon, who is single, is required to gather data from kinky clips so that the Dibble can compile an in-depth report about tendencies and statistics in porn. The company hopes it will lead to better understanding of people's online preferences and practices. Okay. Well, one thing about kinky clips. So we know she's not watching what would be called vanilla or anything that would be called out of the ordinary. Okay, she's ordinary. Let's put it that way. She's watching kinky. That usually goes with fetishes. Fetishes have a vast audience with very particular preferences. Some people like one thing, some like another. Like anywhere else in the world, some like one thing, some like another. And people with fetishes, and take it from a guy who's in this business for a lot of years, even had an adult bookstore. And I learned one thing when presenting product to my customers, because when I had my video stores, there was no internet. I can tell you that people, that consumers, that customers who go to purchase gay, which is, male or women, bi, lesbian, gay, or fetish content, what they're calling kinky fetish content. These are some of the most intelligent purchasers in the world. I can tell you in terms of buying this type of content. They're not like the regular guys who walk in for a quick movie, a quick tape. They don't care who they're watching. They just want the movie. They'll throw it in at that time into the VCR. Now they'll stream from any old site they go to, and they'll watch whatever they'll watch. Make no mistake, anyone who's buying what they're calling kinky or is a fetish, they may watch something or scan the website and the producer's line of product one time, maybe twice, but as a whole, they will seek out and find the best product they can for what they want it to do. Make no mistake about it. And I learned along the way that when it comes to sex, people with particular fetishes, real fetishes, will do without standard sex, regular sex, until they find what they want. I mean, if they're married, they're married. But by and large, if you get someone with a real intense fetish, they will forego the usual until they find what they are looking for, which can be a long search. So that's again personal preference, and that's what this person is going to find out. That people, when they look at the data, when they look at the stats online and where they're going and what they're doing and what they're looking at, they're going to find that people who look for fetishes are very particular and selective. They may look at you once, but if your product is no good, they won't look at you again. So that is what's on that story. What else is got is a half hour flying by, and I'm just babbling away. Oh, I was reading last week. Yeah, the Oscars, a brilliant statement there. ABC is open to having Chris Rock host the Academy Awards next year. What a surprise! What a surprise! Who knew that this ratings genius maneuver would actually come into play? So yeah, the odds are he will be a favorite, and I'm sure his asking price is going to go way up to host next year's Academy Awards. I would bet on it. So yeah, it's an idea they're open-minded to. Shrewd. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Let's see. I'm looking at this. Actually came from what site? I got this over at MSN, MicrosoftNews.com. The headline says scientists brought dead eyes back to life in a radical new experiment. This story is from May 16th. It says being able to reverse death may seem like something from a sci-fi or fantasy novel, but scientists managed to do that just with a pair of dead eyes. The eyes, which were received from organ donors, were brought back to life in a breakthrough procedure. Okay. Says, of course, the breakthrough isn't nearly as miraculous as bringing someone back to life would be, but is an intriguing step towards science. All right, look at that. They were able to prove that photosensitive neuron cells in the retina can respond to light up to 5 hours after death. Well, that's nice, but if there's no brain to attach it to, you don't know that you brought them back to life. But okay, you got 5 hours. You have a 5-hour window for the eye to work. Okay, fine. Additionally, they were able to prove that eyes can communicate with each other even after death, too. The scientists recorded the eyes sending signals resemble the signals that living subjects' eyes send. This development, along with others, has raised the question of whether we could actually reverse death. I don't know about that, but what else is, oh wow, look at this part of it. Researchers at Yale University were able to restart the brain of 32 decapitated pigs. You got it? You got that? So I got eyes and I got heads and I got brains. Okay, so we have eyes, we got brains. The idea of being able to reverse death isn't new. It is stylized in fiction for years. And so, you know what this is? They're describing Frankenstein. That's what this is. They are describing Frankenstein. Take the eye. Remember them? You ever see the original movie? I mean, you ever really? Well, the original movie is a silent movie, and the monster, so to say, from the Mary Shelley novel. How would I put it in terms of actors? Would look more like the Robert De Niro version than it would the Boris Karloff version. But either way, if you remember Young Frankenstein, either way, eyes from one, hands from one, brain. In the Young Frankenstein, they sent in who would be Igor, as he called himself, Igor, into the lab to bring back a brain. He drops it. He brings back another one. So Dr. Frankenstein asked him, whose brain did you bring back? He goes, Abby somebody. He goes, Abby somebody? He says, Abby normal. And he realized that he said he brought back an abnormal brain, which they put into like the 6'3" Hulk of a man. And that's where they built Frankenstein out. But that's what it is. If you've seen Frankenstein, that's what they're doing. They're bringing in bits and pieces. They're building a body. And how did they do it? Well, in the Boris Karloff version, they put him on a big slab in some horrible castle in whatever city they're in. They put him up at the table. They hoist him up. There's a big electrical storm, zap, and all of a sudden he's alive. That's what they're describing. Frankenstein. As far as reversing death, there is a reason why things work the way they do. Let us suppose that we could reverse death, that we can keep people from dying or bring them back. All right, let's just keep going for a second. We can bring them back, we'll keep them, we can build them, hit one, hurl two, a few staples, a couple of bolts, and you have life. Or however else they're going to proceed. Could the planet Earth sustain the population if no one died? Unless you actually fell into an acid or lava pit. Something happened where you could not be recovered. You fell out of your rocket ship, now you're floating in space. You can't be recovered. But if they can take people, right, and maybe take what they're describing here, the eyes, the brain of someone who died at very old and put them in someone young, which is actually the concept of a movie. I'll get to that in a second. Could the planet sustain all of us if nobody died? People are still being born. Yeah, a few bodies may go, but a lot of the bodies are being saved because we're not everybody's dying. And what I was saying about taking from the old and putting into the young comes from a movie called Seconds, starring Rock Hudson. This is a 1960s movie. And this was about started off with an older guy who goes to an agency where he hears they could do something. He's an older guy. Maybe his health isn't what it was. He's married. His kids are living their own lives. The house is empty. He loves his wife, but he's not really in love anymore. But it's like, they're together a million years. And, and somehow the people who own the agency, next thing is they're operating. And they're surgically turning this, say, 5'8" older man into the 6'2" Rock Hudson. He went to this older man to this big, strong-looking, good-looking guy. And the only catch was they dispose of the body, of the older man's body, but now you still have the reconstructed version. No scars, a little scarring behind the ears, like you think of a facelift, and everything else was fine. But he couldn't tell anybody. And this led to a great movie. It really did, how this works out. Yeah, that would be interesting. Could the Earth sustain all of us if, say, the death rate dropped because not everybody is salvageable by, say, 80%? This was perfected. Just a sign from burn victims, accidents, people died of natural causes or whatever, whatever. I'm interested in that. Could the Earth deal with it as a planet? That's my thought on that subject. Uh, some things just work the way they do for a reason. You know, hey, listen, whatever. What do I know? Okay, this you think was an older topic, but it's an ongoing topic. This was from May 15th. I got this sort of heavy for entertainment. And it says a Brooklyn school is using Klingon to teach English as a second language. Klingon to teach English as a second. Okay. Kalis, the most honored Klingon of all, would be pleased, it says. Teachers in Brooklyn, New York, are educating their students using Klingon, the fictional language created for Star Trek. A 2-minute long segment on May 14th, reporter Gilma Avalos explained that teachers at St. Mark Catholic Academy in Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn, are teaching students Klingon in hope that change your language and change your way of thinking. The segment is punctuated by a footage of Klingon from Star Trek Discovery. Unless you're a real Star Trek fan, you're not well versed, of course not. But learning the fictional and foreign language, the reporter explained in a voiceover, is helping teachers better understand how real students learn English as a second language. Okay, so yeah, there you go. Everything comes from Star Trek. I keep telling people that. A lot of things come from Star Trek. I like Klingons. I grew up watching Klingons. Their appearances change from show to show, but I do like Klingons. One boy, Dennis Sharadok, is from Ukraine, is learning English as a third language. The teachers were coming to me as the principal saying, I want to help my students, but I don't know how. Well, he says, I wanted to help my teachers, and I didn't know how. Okay, so that's the principal saying that. That's when I reached out to ACES. ACES is the Academic Center for English Language Studies in St. Joseph's University. It's a college program tailored toward non-native English speakers. I can't speak right now, so maybe I'll take Klingon. And they came up with this idea of letting the teachers teaching the kids with using a fictional language. I think this is great. Yeah, so this is pretty cool. This is a long article, which I'm not going to read the whole thing, but that's pretty cool. Just Google it. Brooklyn school uses Klingon to teach English as a second language. I think it's great. Star Trek covered a lot of great ground over its time and still does. Star Trek is Star Trek. It covered every topic. It covered racism. It covered anti-Semitism. It covered all kinds of bigotries, all kinds of racism. The show was created by Gene Roddenberry to address just that. What's now called inclusion, he was doing it in the 1960s. And that is why when you see Lieutenant Uhura was the biggest thing, standing behind Captain Kirk in her chair every day, front and center on the screen in every episode, just about every episode. Sometimes it wasn't her shift on the bridge, but that was a big, big thing. And even when she wanted to leave, because she was really a stage actress, Dr. Martin Luther King went to her when he heard she wanted to leave and talked her into staying, explained to her just how big it was that she was there. And she stayed. And Nichelle Nichols became a huge star from that show. Yeah, she was a good singer and a good dancer, and she would have earned a living fine on stage, but she became Lieutenant Uhura. And everyone respects the character and the actress. Yeah, that inclusion was around long before what you have now, before the way it's regarded now. Matter of fact, when Star Trek was going into its animated series, after the original series went off the air, they were doing an animated series for the kids. So they brought back a lot of the actors, but they didn't want to bring back Lieutenant Uhura, Mr. Sulu, and they just wouldn't do it. Leonard Nimoy, who played Mr. Spock, who was Jewish, said, if they're not here, I'm not doing it. The show is about everyone. So he wanted everyone, and they got it. And that's how it went. And I said, hey, good. Yeah. I think it's great. Well, okay, let's get to a little bit of sports for a second, because we all know how everybody loves sports on the internet. More important than normal sports, I love pro wrestling times. And I grew up watching Ric Flair, Nature Boy Ric Flair. And his catch line was, since he was the 16-time heavyweight champion, was in order to, you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. Well, the man is returning in July. The man is 73 years old, and he's having a farewell match, some sort of a three-man tag team match. And on the opposing team is one of his old rivals, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. So Ric Flair is 73, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is 69. I'm sure their workload will be very light, but I don't know. I hope they keep them safe. The Nature Boy returns, and he's had a brand new robe made up for it. He always had these high-end, expensive sequence designed robes. Think about like gorgeous George Elvis. Think of like an Elvis robe, but more expensive. I don't even know what his wardrobe is worth, but yeah, Ric Flair is entering the ring one last time. I hope it goes well, and I'll be rooting for him. Gotta love this stuff. Okay, what else is going on here? Since I was talking about Star Trek, this came out, not all stories happen the day I'm talking about it. Yeah, I'm all over the place. Not all stories are brand new. Some of them are just outright a week old. So this one here says, from May 16th, the man says he has been abducted by aliens 60 times and forced to fight in their army. There you go. Russ Collette, 58 years old, from North Yorkshire, United Kingdom, claims he has been abducted by aliens no less than 60 times and believes he has been fighting for a race of 15-foot aliens since he was 28 years old. That doesn't. He even has a sketch of what they look like, which sort of, I can't tell if that's an alien look or if that's like the pro wrestling luchador look. They got that mask. Now I can't tell what this is, but he drew it like it's supposed to be an alien with an amazingly human-like physique. That better be his costume. Yeah, he said the first time when I was 16, when I was first traveling home on my motorbike, I went through a tunnel that I had never seen before, and the next thing I knew, I was in what looked like a like a dentist surgery with 15-foot tall alien men who looked very much like Dracula without the sharp. Oh man, I know this scene. Now they're using a picture from E.T. They're using a picture in the story now from when E.T. and the ship was coming back in the field. Oh, can we get by that picture? So it's the classic look of the flying saucer. All right, there's no, but okay, 60 times. Hey, listen, I don't write this stuff. I don't write this stuff. Jay, have you ever been kidnapped by aliens to fight in their army? You were in the military. Did you ever have to serve with gremlins? Jade says no. Jade is in the United States Air Force. She has a little more training under her belt than Tom Cruise. So what's going on? Then I found an article, which I got a kick out of, no real story value, of the weirdest etiquette advice from the past 100 years. There's too many on how women should act because, in that time, 1880, 1890, it wasn't the same. Women should all just sit there and smile, I guess. It says children should never contradict. Calling cards are to be left by women. Don't be too playful with your newborn because you don't want them too dependent on you, I guess. Refrain from impure thoughts, especially if you're pregnant. That's one. Wedding guests must bring admittance cards. All right, whatever. Pregnant women shouldn't travel in the 1930s. I never heard that one. There was one somewhere on this list. Oh, salt and pepper must remain together on the table. All right, that's table manners, table etiquette. You should, 1940s, you should smile when talking on the phone. Not that anyone can see you, but okay, keep smiling. In the 1950s, men were ordering the food for the women. Proper etiquette, all right. The host always serves the meat. Okay, I would think. Cut asparagus in half before you eat it. I don't understand that one. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Eat as quietly as possible, which is okay by me, because somehow sitting at the table, hearing somebody go is really annoying. And oh yeah, this one I like. 1950s, men should escort women on their left. So this would be like if a woman was taking a man's arm, she's supposed to take his arm with her right hand onto his left arm. And why is that? The original, according to this article, which I can believe, the original thing was at that time, well, men protected women. And why is the right hand free? Because long ago when this was first created, men carried swords everywhere they go. So if my right hand is free and come to attack and have to protect somebody, my sword hand is free. I could draw my weapon. I am free. The way I learned it, and a more modern scenario is that if I am walking with a woman, and proper etiquette is, men always walk towards the curb on the outside. When you're walking down the block, the inside is closer to the building, the outside is closer to the traffic, to the cars. So if there's an accident, she is not by the cars. Now, this standard may not be held today. That is one I actually believe when possible. When I do believe that, yes. Always respond to invitations as soon as possible. I agree. This one I still believe in. A woman never pays a bill on a date. I know that sounds by today's standards so sexist, all that stuff. But I was taught that way, that if I'm taking somebody out, I'm paying. I fully expect to pay. I wouldn't take her anywhere if I couldn't pay. And it's not because I'm the man, you're the woman. It's simply because it's your night. I'm treating it as though it's your night. Yes, I'm there too. And if there's a show involved, if there's a meal involved, I want to enjoy it, but it's your night. And one thing I've always come to understand, especially if you're really dating someone, if you're in love with someone, is that when things get tough, yeah, you may want to talk to your friends, but your guys are really going to be turning to their girl, to their wife. They're going to be turning to them, to listen for under. So yeah, that is one thing I still go with. If I'm out with someone, I am definitely paying. Let's see, 1960s, you should send your daughter to charm school. No kids. Never take more than one bite of food at a time in the 1960s. That means take a bite, don't keep shoving it in before you can swallow. Let's see, shake hands at elbow level. Okay, so when you go to shake hands, you're right here. Your arm is down, your hand is there, elbow level. Don't raise up, don't raise down, elbow level. That's called proper. It's called etiquette. Okay. Always have a cigarette on hand, even if you don't smoke, because maybe she does and you have to offer her a cigarette. Okay. Okay. Avoid dead fish hands. In the 1950s and 60s, there were a lot of do's and don'ts. There are a lot of do's and don'ts for women to follow, including how to position her arms. In this instructional guide, a woman was advised not to let her hands hang straight to her sides, as it distracts from her silhouette. So it takes away from her shape. Okay. I didn't even read all these. Women should always be addressed first. Even introducing someone in the 1960s came with a rule book. Okay, so couple come in, introduce her and him. Now remember, when a lot of these rules were written, a lot of these things were addressed. Nobody ever discussed couples, LGBTQ, lesbian, gay. No one addressed this. So the etiquette rules change in every situation. But in this type of scenario, is addressed, introduce the woman first. Let me see. Don't cough into your right hand. I like that one at any time period. Don't cough in your right hand. Why? Cough it, put the tissue, your hand, cough in your left hand, because maybe someone's going to address you and you're going to want to shake their hand. at elbow level. So yeah, so yes, do us all a favor and cough into your left hand. Don't hold drinks in your right hand. Same reason. You may have to shake hands with somebody, and nobody wants a wet hand. So you've been for mingling. That's where you shake hands. Whatever is the way it is. So I'm left-handed, but okay. I do things right along that way. Men should enter a dark room first. This is etiquette again, because even though the usual thing is when opening a door, a lady walks in first, this is meant because there's the unknown. So the man goes in, and in case there's danger, even if you're, listen, what can I say? Always have a toast prepared. So, you go to a dinner party, a birthday party, wherever, have a toast prepared. That you can do. That's easy. Anyone can do that still. Have a couple of nice words to say. Nothing terrible. Discuss the bill. This is 1970s. Things are changing. Discuss the bill before it arrives. And that thing, get things open. But I still go back to an older thing. Okay, the 1970s are starting to discuss the bill. Cell phones should be answered with discretion. That's 1980s, when cell phones were as big as this microphone. I still do that. Answer with discretion. So yeah, sometimes you answer, sometimes you don't. Usually when I'm out with someone, I keep it in my pocket with the vibrator part of it on, so I know it's ringing, but I keep it the volume down. I do keep it on because of a couple of reasons, but on the best of days, I turn it off if I'm having dinner with someone. Make sure you send appropriate flowers for the occasion. That's 1980s. Okay, send flowers. And there you go. I do like keeping the sword hand open and things like that. That's just how I usually thought of it. It works for me. So let us know in the comments or in the emails, are there any etiquette rules that you follow today? That's what I want to know. That's just what I want to know. Jade, are there any etiquette rules you like to follow? Anyone that should follow with you? Are there any rules of etiquette that you follow? Okay. Well, okay, she says she doesn't know. I'm sure she'll be thinking about it 5 minutes after I get off. And actually, we're almost done as of now. Soon we'll be rating some poor channel somewhere, saying hello and, seeing what can happen. I'm wondering, I have to check my stats and see if any of the people that we are rating and following, if they're following us. I'm going to look into that. And that is, I guess, the story, because it's been a pretty good week. We had my mom's birthday on Saturday. Went up to Doc's on 3rd Avenue and 8th Street for a very nice dinner. Our little gang. Had a good shrimp cocktail there. Really was good. And tomorrow night, the Thompson Street Medicine Show, 132 Thompson Street inside of the Thompson Chemist, has the celebration of Bob Dylan's birthday. Yes, Bob is still around writing songs and getting Grammy nominated every other year. And many people, especially in the New York area, or actually around the world, will be celebrating his music. I don't know if everybody will be talking like Bob and singing, but someone's going to be singing some of his songs somewhere. So pay attention for that and enjoy the music. Everybody, it's been a pleasure talking to you today. And that is the story. We'll see everyone next week. Tune in. We'll be here. Have a good night.